motivate, mashing on the interstate, never fake, shake a Jake, woofers that'll make you quake, get a beast of bellyache, stomp down, accelerate, make this frame levitate, burn up the fucking state, they ain't really scared enough, mob through, fed up for green chips, make this machine flip, tear it up, swollen lips, broken hips, fight through the hustle state, broken bones, broken homes, still we resuscitate, dash, dash, crash, lash, trash, oh my, smash, dash, crash, lash, trash, Superfly. Cussing, hate, tussle, fake. We control the thrust rate. Represent constituents whenever you negotiate. We the engine and ignition. Kissing evil malnutrition. Giving us the camshaft. We finna blow a piston field at a posture. Made it cotton grocery. Lean back, mashing gas. Do it like it's supposed to be. Nationally, locally. Stopping them from choking me. Jump in the drop seat and scream out vocally. Hold on tight, hold on tight. Hold on tight. Don't take it all night.
Hello folks, it is Matthew here again, and I am now going to join you once again for segment number 2 of my birthday tribute to James Stewart. So what we're going to do here is, we're going to first do Supercross race. I'm going to go for 7 laps. And we're going to do 125, so some of the riders. Looking for that. Here we go. I'm going to be playing as James Stewart at Phoenix. Stewart, a winner of this race in 2002. And 2003 in the 125.
Hi, I'm Davey Coombs bringing you the Supercross action from Phoenix, Arizona. This is a tight track with lots of tricky rhythm sections, and the riders are going to be working extra hard in today's heat.
Now you notice that Carmichael's on the 125 here.
The 125s are revving things up down here, getting ready to ride.
I kind of forgot about this, because I'm so used to racing the 250 class here. But anyways, let's get to this.
The riders are waiting on the gate. The riders are off in a cloud of smoke.
And as an avid gamer, I'm kind of surprised that they went with Carmichael on the 125 instead of Chad Reed, because Chad Reed was on the 120, was running the 125 East. I'm gonna go 7 laps here. Ooh, going right into the tough block. There, Carmichael gets by. Make it past Ricky. Reed was running the East Coast, Stewart was running the West. That's why I decided to go with a Western race, Western Supercross race. A race on the West as James Stewart. Okay, now I've got myself a nice lead. This is where the whoops would be, because this is the 2000 layout. I know I made a mistake here, and I apologize about this, but going with 7 opponents, I believe. Yeah, so this time I'm just going to go with... So the motocross race, I will go with 7 opponents. Just to make sure I have everything right. This is a tough section. That section I just went, that rhythm section I just went through. Of course, this is when Stewart was learning the ropes in the 125 Supercross series, and he was very wishy-washy. He even crashed in this race and still ended up winning the race in Phoenix. The only race he didn't fall his rookie year was a 125 competition was San Diego. But it was this race in 2000 where we had seen a change in the guard for the 125 West Championship. Talon Volan, the points leader, ended up crashing himself out of the race after a crash in the first turn with other title contenders, David Pingree and Horton. David Pingree, Robbie Horton, Greg Schnell, and even eventual champion Derek Shea Bentley was caught in that. Bentley would end up winning that championship by 2 points over Pingree. And Talon Volan ended up crashing out of the series in qualifying in Houston when he ended up breaking his collarbone. But it was before a pretty long break of about 4 races until Minneapolis, but that's when Volan decided to just get ready for the Nationals.
This is the last lap.
101 lap time right now. Whoa, that got close. Uh-oh. Am I going to go right into there? Oh, yeah, I did. And right there, I extend the bike. Trying to do a wheel tap right there.
Player 1 takes the moto win.
And I won the race as James Stewart.
Let's take a look at the standings. It's player 1 in first place. Sellards takes second. Third place goes to Schnell.
Laninovich 4th, Smith 5th, Chain 6th, Langston 7th, and Carmichael 8th. But in the motocross race, I will have 7 competitors, not 8. So I'll see you guys. So I'm actually going to go to that right now. So we're going to go to exit. Phoenix. I'm going to go to Washougal. And we're going to have 6 opponents this time. And once again, I'll be playing as James Stewart.
Welcome to Washougal Motocross Park here in Washington State. This could be the most beautiful of the outdoor nationals, and it's certainly great racing weather today, dry and cool. The riders are at the gate getting ready for the start of this 125 moto.
Of course, this is a race that James Stewart ended up winning in 02, 03, and 04.
Waiting for the start.
All of them on his way to a championship.
And the 125s are off to a quick start.
Schnell gets the whole shot. Oh, it's hard to see. Looks like I'm behind Thane. That's where the Chuck Sun jump is. According to Jeff Emick, Chuck Sun on a 500cc two-stroke ended up whiskey throttling that jump.
What the?
And right there, I end up getting by Roderick Thane for the lead. And now we're coming into the famous Washougal whoop section. And it was this race also that in the 250 class, privateer Kyle Lewis put his Honda 450 on the podium with a 4.3, which was good enough for 3rd overall. In the second moto, Lewis got the 3rd, and that was also good enough. That also matched his best 3rd place at Budds Creek. And unfortunately for Lewis, that 3rd place there wasn't good enough for a podium overall. But it was the first time that Lewis had been on the podium since 1995. Over that jump. Wow. That got pretty close. And of course, in the 125 class, Larry Ward ended up winning the first moto. Oh, down I go. But as I was saying, I didn't lose the lead, thank goodness. Larry Ward ended up winning the first moto, becoming the only rider ever to win a moto in 3 different decades. And of course, in 2001 at Redbud, he ended up winning the overall with a 2-2 performance to Travis Pastrana's 1-4. Which was his first national win since 1992 at Southwick. Leap out of the whoops. And of course in 2001, this was also the race that Travis Pastrana had his season ended. Had his season pretty much ruined due to another crash to add to the crash that he had at Unadilla 2 races ago. 2 races prior. After Pastrana had to fight from last in Moto number 1 to finish in 8th. I should have preloaded on that one. I could have made that a triple. Down the peristyle. It was actually in this section right here where Travis Pastrana ended up crashing in 2001, as I was talking about earlier. And that's also the same section where Ryan Villapoto ate it in 2007 on a 250F, when he had a crash almost identical to Pastrana's crash. The only difference was Villapoto jumped up right away. Travis Pastrana stayed down because he took a whack to his head. The first segment I had was a 125 motocross amateur race at Loretta Lynn's as James Stewart. I did a 20-minute race there. Now this one is a 2-in-1 motocross race and a supercross race where I play as James Stewart. And I seem to have put these guys to bed. Make them race for second. Of course, in 2002, James Stewart won 10 races to best Ricky Carmichael's rookie record of 8 national wins by 2, and also bested Carmichael's 1999 record of 9 national wins, which was the most in a season. And Stewart upped that in 2004 with 11 national wins of his own, when he almost had a perfect season. If it wasn't for a DNF at the first moto at Redbud, where he ended up throwing a clutch away, and Mike Brown ended up the victor, Stewart would have looked at the only perfect season in the 125 class. Carmichael does have a perfect Supercross season in 1998 on the East Coast, which James Stewart almost matched in 2003 and 2004, but Stewart ended up losing the Anaheim opener in 2003 on the West Coast, and Stewart had a practice crash at Indy in 2004, and that was when Josh Hansen took advantage with his first Supercross win. at the time, Hansen was a West rider, and he decided to jump over to the East Coast for some experience, and then he ended up taking points away from the other competitors. As a matter of fact, Stewart was the only rider to score over 100 points in the 125 East that season because Hansen was getting podiums here and there. Because Hansen had something like 4 second-place finishes and a third at Daytona. And that was all separated by a 14th at Atlanta. And if Hansen had started out in the West, he would have had his best season to date. Unfortunately, it was all for naught. Of course, at the time, everybody was just saying we can focus on the West Coast because the East is over with James Stewart running that series in 2004. Boy, were we right. Stewart winning the first 5 races before that practice crash at Indy took away his only chance because Stewart suffered a concussion there. But getting back to this race, this was also, as I was saying, Larry Ward ended up winning the first moto here. And Stewart ended up coming from a bad start to finish in 3rd. But Stewart would come back to win the second moto, and it was Ward who got the bad start. He ended up in 3rd. And that was probably the first time ever that at the time Brandon Jessamine, who was with the Blimpie Suzuki team, ended up going 2-2 on the day. And normally that would give you 2nd overall, or even maybe an overall win at the time, but instead, Jessamine went 2-2, and he got 3rd overall. And that was probably the first time I'd ever seen that. Somebody go 2-2 for 3rd overall. Because that was something I'd never seen before. I seen Larry Ward go 2-2 for an overall win, but I'd never seen anybody go 2-2 and end up 3rd overall. But then again, in 2000, Sebastian Tortelli went 3-3 at Hangtown, and he ended up 4th overall. Oh, down I go again in the same portion the same place I crashed on the first lap. Oh, I came up bad short. Then my next segment is going to be, and I'll say this right now, my next segment is going to be a Supercross and a Motocross race of MX versus the ATV Unleashed, where I will be playing as James Stewart on the 250.
It's the white flag lap.
Ooh. Wow, I didn't even see him. I think that was Schnell that went down. I ran over him. but that wouldn't be cool in real life. Unless you're already committed. If you run over somebody and you're already committed, then you can just say that that wasn't your fault, but it would make you feel really, really bad. I don't want to wheelie up Horsepower Hill because then I'm going to run into trouble. I hope you guys are enjoying this two-stroke sounding because I'm sure I get a lot of hits for this. I'm almost out of time here, but I'm almost at the end, thank goodness. Well, that was my best run through the
Checkered
whoops.
flag is out and player 1 takes it.
And I took the win.
Let's check out the standings. Player 1 will take the first place finish today, followed by Lanovich in second place, and Thane hangs on to third.
Best lap was a 1:44. Everyone else is 5 seconds slower. So that will do it for my. So this will do for my second segment of my birthday tribute to James Stewart, and I'll see you guys for segment number 3.